Have you ever experienced that sudden awakening? That hidden feeling, that inner voice that comes to you in the middle of a deep sleep. Right at the moment when you need sleep the most. Or even worse, that annoying, persistent sensation that makes you feel like your bladder hasn't fully emptied, even after going to the bathroom 5 times. If this sounds familiar, you are part of a concerning statistic. It's estimated that more than 50% of men over 50, or even younger men, suffer from nighttime urination or incomplete bladder emptying. By the age of 60, 80% of men develop benign prostatic enlargement. Although this disorder may seem minor, it can steal your strength, energy, and peace in your private life. I have an important question for you. Have you ever sought help for your problem, or entered a cycle of medications that promise one uninterrupted, restful night? Let's be honest, these medications only temporarily relieve the symptoms and often come with severe side effects. Big corporations are making billions from your pain by investing in synthetic drugs. Today, I am here to break this silence and help you find a natural, drug-free solution. The very foods your body has been waiting for. Foods that have the power to help. And I am committed to revealing the biological truth behind why your bladder and prostate aren't working properly. When you wake up once, twice, or even more times at night to go to the bathroom, not only is your sleep disrupted, but a process called hormonal regeneration in your body also stops. During deep sleep, our body performs essential functions. It repairs muscle tissues, consolidates memories, and restores hormones like testosterone. Now, when this cycle is interrupted, the result is a silent decline. Declines in focus, daily energy, and even physical strength and endurance. Unfortunately, most men do not know the main cause of this nighttime awakening. The root problem is prostate inflammation and weakness of the bladder's detrusor muscle. Over time, as age increases, benign prostatic enlargement, which affects most men, acts as an aggravating factor because it puts additional pressure on the urinary tract, making complete urination difficult. This leftover urine acts as a constant stimulant, manifesting as that urgent feeling to go to the bathroom, especially at night when the parasympathetic nervous system is more active. But the solution is neither the next prescription pill nor reducing water intake. The solution is to provide your body with the right molecular architecture, an architecture that reduces tissue inflammation and helps strengthen the tissues. And this is where our first hero, and the first magical fruit, enters the scene. I'm talking about tomatoes and the key to their power, the carotenoid pigment called lycopene. Lycopene is not just an antioxidant, it's the true guardian of your prostate cells. That pain you feel, the urgency, and incomplete bladder emptying, all of these are manifestations of inflammation. On a biological level, this inflammation is driven by free radicals inside our cells. But lycopene can combat this in a fascinating way. The lycopene in tomatoes accumulates in the membranes of prostate cell and neutralizes free radicals, effectively countering oxidative stress, the spark that ignites inflammation in your body. To go a bit deeper, despite its simplicity, lycopene has extraordinary power. Inside the cells, this antioxidant neutralizes a protein called NF-kappa B, the very key that activates genes responsible for inflammation. In other words, lycopene extinguishes the fire of inflammation in its early stages by inhibiting NF-kappa B. However, many people use tomatoes incorrectly. For lycopene to be released, tomatoes need to be cooked and combined with a bit of healthy fat. Eating them raw in a salad has almost no effect on your health. You should puree the tomatoes and cook them, then mix with a teaspoon of olive oil and eat it right before bed so that these anti-inflammatory compounds enter your bloodstream. Now that tomato lycopene has reduced inflammation, we need to relax the muscles. And this is where our second magical fruit comes in. The gem rich in a lesser-known amino acid called L-citrulline. Its name is watermelon. When you think of watermelon, you may only think of water. But inside this fruit lies an amino acid called L-citrulline, which is the precursor to L-arginine. Once it enters the body, it stimulates the production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a vasodilator, it relaxes smooth muscles. And the bladder muscle is part of this group, so, by eating watermelon, the unnecessary tension in the bladder's detrusor muscle is reduced, the muscle relaxes, your overall bladder capacity increases, and that feeling of urgency disappears. In fact, one of the main causes of nighttime frequent urination is overactivity of the detrusor muscle. meaning it remains in a constantly contracted state and sends false signals to the brain. By eating watermelon, you can stop these false signals by relaxing this tension. But unfortunately, almost everyone eats watermelon incorrectly. More than 90% of this hidden gem, L-citrulline, is found in the white part of the watermelon. So when we tell you to eat watermelon for this problem, it means eating the pink flesh together with the white rind. This is how you get the highest amount of L-citrulline. To increase its absorption in your body, you should pair it with a healthy fat, such as 3 walnut halves or 7 almonds, and consume it about 30 minutes before a meal. The best time to take it is in the evening. Now we come to the third fruit, one you can consider a natural pharmacy. Its secret lies in its vitamin E and beta-sitosterol content. And that fruit is avocado, the same fruit many people think of as something trendy or overrated, assuming it's just another empty health fad. But the beta-sitosterol inside this fruit has a structure similar to cholesterol and interferes with the enzyme 5-alpha-reductase in your body, the same enzyme that converts testosterone into dihydrotestosterone, DHT. You may or may not know this, but the conversion of testosterone into DHT is directly linked to prostate enlargement. So by reducing the level of DHT in your body, beta-sitosterol helps slow down the growth of prostate tissue, relieving pressure from the urinary tract. As a result, the urinary channel becomes wider, your bladder empties fully and the leftover urine, your constant trigger for urgency, no longer remains. But unfortunately, many people consume avocado incorrectly. They eat it occasionally because they've heard it's healthy. However, if you want to experience its therapeutic benefits, you must consume it regularly over a longer period and in moderate amounts, so it can consistently bind to enzymatic receptors in your body and allow a proper concentration of beta-sitosterol to build up in your bloodstream. It's enough to simply eat half an avocado daily, with breakfast or lunch.